as an artist, we should reflect the time.
Why you so talented?
Cause I'm black.
Why you so amazing?
Cause I'm black.
It's really important that we build characters so that people understand their story matters.
2 Chainz and I both are just really into good food.
And when you know you are royalty, you will only aim in life to be royalty.
We're doing it right now. I don't give a damn what they say about me. Yes, I called your ass out. I know I shouldn't be saying this kind of.
Shout out to Hype Magazine Network.
Shout out to the Hype Magazine Network.
Hype in the street.
Hello there.
Hype in the street. What? Hype in the street. Hype in the street.
Nice.
Hype in the hype. Hype in the street. Hype in the street.
Yo, welcome to a brand new installment of Hype in the Streets. I'm your host, Tee Recx. We got Money Matt in the building, man. How you doing tonight?
What up, Tee Recx, man? I'm doing really good, man. Happy belated Memorial Day to you and your family. I know you're very military oriented, so happy for that. And looking forward to another great show. You've got an amazing guest going to come on tonight. I'm excited for what she's doing and the talent she has, and just glad to be here with you, fam.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely happy to have Ina's ex coming on. She was on Wax a few weeks ago promoting her new single, Maniac. So definitely going to chop up and talk about all things Ina's ex, man.
Okay.
Shout out to Graci Grace. She stay busy. She's probably out and about and stuff. The We Outside tour, that's going on and everything. And so, definitely salute to her as well. Man, yeah. I'm telling you, one music fest is enough, but when you go to back-to-back weekends of music fest, man, you lose a lot of weight.
Yeah.
I lost 5 pounds from this previous music fest, the Valley Fest. Valley Fest 25 in Valley, Alabama, which is about 20 miles outside of Auburn, Alabama, War Eagle, if you're a sports fan. We had a great time. It was a great performance to some of the artists that was there. Corey Smith, I don't know if you're familiar with Corey Smith. He's a national recording artist from out of Athens, Georgia. And he has a song called F the Popo. you had to look that one up. But yeah, he definitely brought the house down, man. So it was so much fun.
So you said you've done 2 festivals back to back now. What was the major difference between the 2 of those, and how are you feeling now after that? 2 weeks of going crazy for these festivals. How are you recuperating?
Well, the first one, Sanding My Boots, man. You have 40,000 people each night there on the beach, and the setup was like an amusement park. Valley Fest 25 was a very tight-knit community-based music festival that had a lot of the area people out, great regional bands, and it was a great time. It was like a homecoming for me because I'm from that area, and so I was able to, go home and host a great festival. Shout out to the Valley Local for the opportunity. I told them I'd be back for the 3rd annual. And so,
who were some of the standout artists besides the feature artists that put it together? Who were some of the standout artists from the festival?
Man, everybody pretty standout, man. Shout out to Blaine Rudd, Marty Brooks, Junior Cardille, Mac Ray Keaton, Chris Dewberry and the Laura Todd, Kaylee Fucci. Like the names go on, and Poison Whiskey, Wicked Dixie. It was a great lineup. Nick Mayfield. Yeah, it is so many people. If I forget you, I'm sorry, but everybody on the bill of Valley Fest 25 was great, and I enjoyed it.
Now you had two festivals. One was a major festival. You said a lot of heavy names, major celebrities, and then you have the second one that's more knit to your region where you're at. Which one do you enjoy more? Do you enjoy being at the big festival with all the celebrities, or do you enjoy being more with the, in your hometown or where you're from and supporting those up and coming artists?
I take it as pretty much the same way. Like,
Yep.
I don't get starstruck or anything, and I treat everybody like they are stars. So we all unique, So
Yep. Love it.
just being at both was great. Both of them was hot, and I got to burn some calories, man. I've been working out and stuff in the last couple of months anyway, and so yes, I definitely got a chance to lose some weight too.
Is that the Tee Recx workout plan? Go to some festivals over the summer, and you're gonna lose lots of pounds.
Yes, indeed, yes, indeed. That's the way to do it. We're waiting on Ines X. She was in the studio there, so we waiting on her to.
So while we're waiting, I got to shout out my Indiana Pacers, man.
Yes.
Unfortunately, tonight we didn't close the deal. We were in Madison Square Garden, and really didn't look like the Pacers wanted to win tonight. They want to come home on Saturday, lock in this finals opportunity. And congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder, man. Amazing closeout game they had. I think they beat them by 45 points. I'm hoping that it's the Pacers and them. A lot of people are scared of that. Matt say two small markets, but they're two diehard fan bases. You're talking about the Seattle Supersonics that have went to OKC. OKC is the team where they don't even let you sit down until you score the first basket. Like it's a fandemonium that you don't experience. And then, of course, with the Indiana Pacers, man, we live and breathe basketball in Indiana. So when it becomes the final lineup, I think the ratings are going to be a lot higher than they anticipated. It's going to be a defensive struggle with OKC because they specialize in defense, and the Pacers, normally we specialize in the offense. So I think SGA will probably have a 100-point game, but we may still win just because we always let one person go crazy. But it's exciting times for the NBA playoffs just because every game has been interesting. Even today when we were down by 14, you kept thinking they could still come back. So really excited for that. And Saturday, we're going to close it out, hopefully.
Yes, but I think Ines X might have something to say about the Pacers closing out on the Knicks. So
okay,
sure
let's
she's
go.
a Knicks fan. She's from New York. Let's welcome Ines X to Hype in the Streets. How you doing tonight?
Guys, how are you? Can you hear me good?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. I literally I'm
Yes,
getting used to
we
these
can.
live streams. I
How
love
are you
this. I'm
doing?
getting used to it. I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing well. We got a Pacer fan on the show.
Oh
The
man.
host Matt. He's a Pacer fan. So how do you feel about the series?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like I feel like New York, the Knicks have really been bad my whole life. So really to have New York be made it this far, it's like it's really good. It's really nice. I'm like, finally, New York on the map. Like, Lord, like it's about time.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
I know we got
I'm
a little
Bulls
lag.
fan, so I have no say. My team been.
Oh, are you from Chi-Town? I mean, I love Jordan. You know how that goes, but you know.
Yes. Oh
Yeah,
yes.
Chi-Town. Okay, Chi-Town in the house
But
too.
yes,
Okay.
it's grateful to have you on the show. Thank you for taking the time. I know you was on the Digital Wax call a couple of weeks ago. So my first question to you is, what inspired you to get into music?
So for me, it started off as like there was no Middle Eastern girls that were like in the mainstream scene, and I felt like I always loved watching pop stars and I always wanted to be on that stage and I always was obsessed with the whole performance arts, but it wasn't like a possibility as a Middle Eastern girl. So when I came in the game, it was like saying there's like no Middle Eastern girls. I'm trying to like really be that, and me being so Arabic but so American. I feel like that blend is like missing in music, and it's still missing in music. So, I'm so passionate about just like owning both sides of who I am and all the sides and just being, like really that, and just hoping that like really being like a trailblazer, because I feel like I love the artists that have really like changed the game. And I feel like, being a Middle Eastern girl, it's like a very strict culture. So I feel like it makes sense that we're the last girls to cross over. But I think it's about that time.
Absolutely. So, who inspired you? Who was some of the artists you was listening to when you were growing up in your childhood?
Like growing up, I feel like I had a good blend of like listening to, like, my mom always loved her Arabic stars and, like the Arabic pop stars and stuff. But I feel like I was always listening to mainstream radio and was obsessed with, like Britney, Beyonce, Nicki, Rihanna, Beyonce, Beyonce, all the girls, like, so I feel like now, Shakira, like, and now I feel like girls really run the game. So it's really nice to see, because it's like I love, a pop star, a superstar, and I feel like, it's for me like that, like the girls that get it, and it's just like I just always was like, I want to do that. And I want to do it like that. I would see the Middle Eastern girls and they would be very like, covered up and modest and very like, and I'm like, I want to be like, these pop stars, like, Britney, who's like on the stage with a snake, and like, like B, who's like coming down upside down, and like, all the things. Like I was just like obsessed with the way that we do it here in the States. It's like we do it big, we're extra. And, I was just so obsessed with that. I loved Michael Jackson. Sorry, I'm in LA, so it's like just loud. But it's like LA is like the new New York, and I have my AirPods in, but I'm like, Jesus, I don't know. It's becoming very loud out here. It's crazy. But yeah, I just feel like all those influences kind of like became a melting pot and made me who I am. And then being a Brooklyn girl, I always was obsessed with all of the rap game, street culture, Jay-Z, Little Kim, growing up on that, Biggie, it just like it really inspired me to really be, that street culture is what I'm about, and it just so happens to be Middle Eastern, which I feel like is just like a cherry on top.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yes. Tell us about your creation process. What do you, or how do you prepare yourself when you're trying to write a new song or compose dance moves and everything for your performance?
I feel like lately everything has been really like inspiring me to like I've been taking inspirations from a little bit of everywhere, but like I've been really adamant about identity. Like,
Mm.
it's strong identity pieces and moments where it's like, this is really like a good like statement of my identity. And I think that as an artist, you have a lot of sides, and as a human, you have a lot of sides. So, it's just really being like, sort of like, what sides do I want to show and when do I want to show it? And, okay, now I'm like, here's my lover girl side. Okay, here's my maniac, little wild side. Okay, like here's, my cut more countryside, or here's my more Middle Eastern side, or here's my all American girl. Like, just all the different sides. And, I'm a lover girl, but it's just like I have, it's like you're dangerous, and you're Michael Jackson dangerous, and just all the things. So it's like for me lately, it's like really finding those inspirations and being honest with those different sides of me. And it doesn't matter how crazy that side is or whatever, like you got to be honest, because there's people who feel that way that you feel. And as an artist, it's like being honest and sharing my emotions is like the job, and just somebody feeling that is the goal. You know what I'm saying? So like lately it's just like being as honest as possible and being honest with my emotions, and just really putting that in the music and being like, okay, like I know somebody's gonna feel this because this is how I'm really feeling right now. So if it's a lover girl of the moment, if it's a savage in the moment, if I'm like F love right now, if I'm like F everybody, like however that feeling is, I like to just really put it in the song, because the songs I've been making and putting out, and it's just like it's a feeling. Like I want you to feel it. So that's like what I've been on lately. Like you gonna feel me.
Before I turn it over to Money Matt, what phase do you feel most comfortable in or feel comfortable being? Because I know you said we all have different sides. What do you feel most comfortable being?
I think that I honestly, I'm a New York girl. So like no matter where I go in the world, I'm really a New York girl still. So like I feel most comfortable in that. Like like funny enough, like I listen to mostly like rap and trap music. I rap a lot, like I'm just
Okay.
very much so that's where I'm most comfortable. I feel like is in that, you know, where I'm like, even though I'm in LA, like LA is very much so what I love about LA is it is bougie, but it has a lot of street culture too,
Yep.
which I love, and that is what I love about LA is the street culture of LA. So I feel like I'm always tapping in with that and like what's going on and what's the sounds and just like that because I feel like yeah when I'm in that element like I'll like yeah, like, I found this like 13-year-old kid who was like a crazy rapper, and I was like, oh my God, he like inspired me so much. I'm like, oh, this is so inspiring. He's so real, he's raw. Like, so I just feel like, I love that. Like, what I love about being a Brooklyn girl is that it's just the rawness. It's like New York City has a rawness to it that is like no matter what, I'm just such a raw person and I don't know how to be anything else. It's just like I love the rawness and just like being that real version. So that's where I'm definitely most comfortable, but I definitely feel like I do try to be and more like okay, I want to really like, touch everybody. So how can we show that side, but also show your other sides too. Cause I do, I have my street side, I have my corporate side.
Yeah.
I know this lighting is a little bit crazy. Sorry. Sunset right on me.
So you mentioned that you're from Brooklyn, and now you're in Los Angeles. What was it like making that transition from the East Coast to West Coast, and what made you want to do that in the first place?
I love that question. I feel like I always am between like the East Coast, West Coast, like, New York versus LA thing. Like I love both so much that I have like trouble picking which one I really love more. Like a bunch of my friends are like, come back to New York every day. And, it's so hard because I feel like I fell in love with LA because I felt like it was like a better weather version of New
Yeah.
York, and that's how I was like, oh, I love LA. But I always have this like major missing in my soul for New York City because there's nothing like it in the world and the food and
Yeah.
the people and it's just very much so like unique in the energy and New York definitely made me, which I'm so appreciative of. But like LA took me to that next level and continues to do so. And I feel like LA has such a magical energy about it if you're able to really tap in and stay focused and, not get distracted. And, I feel like it really does have like this city is like the city that has, made so many people. So, but I do love that New York City made me, because I'm just like, this is, coming here,
Yeah.
it's like a West Coast version, but at the same time, it's definitely different. You know what I mean? So I definitely always miss New York, but I have really grown to have this really like I'm in love with LA. I'm in love with New York. New York is forever going to be my city. So I feel like I have this like really torn relationship, but they both do like so much for me.
Now, with you being Middle Eastern, like you said, it's the culture is more conservative, and I mean, you got to be cautious on what you're doing. When you first decided to become this major pop star and express yourself your way you are, did you get any pushback from your family and friends, and how did you overcome that for anybody who else is dealing with that type of stuff?
Honestly, I dealt with the most pushback at the beginning of my career. Like it was insane. Like everybody was against me doing music. My whole family, my mom, my everybody. I remember I told my mom I want to do music and she cried. It wasn't happy tears, She was like, "Oh no." Because as a Middle Eastern mom, they just want you to like be a doctor or a lawyer or just get married. That's it. Like those are the options. Like just go get married, please, or just that's it. Like please don't. don't show body, don't do too much, you know?
Yeah.
So I do think that conservative culture, it was very scary for my mom and it wasn't what she was used to, but I'm so happy and proud of her
Yeah.
for how much far she's come along. She's my biggest supporter. She's been my rock throughout the process. It took her a couple years to come around and it was really hard. I was like on my own and I was like, this is so hard. But just having that support, you know, you need at least my mom's support. And making my mom a believer was like, I can make anybody a believer if
Yeah.
I can make my mom a believer, you know, because she's really hard to please. So I feel like that was for me a really big turning moment. And then from there, I never really cared about any other naysayers. I was like, literally, I don't care because I know that might hate me today and you're
Yeah.
gonna love me tomorrow. You might not like it today, but you'll love me tomorrow. Or you may not like it, I may not be your cup of tea, and that's okay. But I do feel like, yeah, making my mom a believer was like, I could make anyone, like, you know, it's always that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's like just having her support is enough for me. And then as long as I know that I'm inspiring at least one person, that's enough for me too. So I'm like, okay, anything else I do is just a plus. You know what I mean?
Do you remember what it was that made your mom the believer? Of course, your family always wants to support you and they love you, but you're going against, you know, stuff she's probably very strongly feels. So what was it you did or what accomplishment did you achieve that made her say, yo, my daughter's onto something and she's going to be a star, so it's time to get behind her?
You know, I think it was when other people started calling her and
Yeah.
being like, "Oh my God, you know, like I hear your daughter on the radio. Oh my God, I saw your daughter here." Or, you know, it's always that. Like it's always like, "Oh my God," like they now she like is just used to it. So she's like, "Okay, what yeah, whatever," you know, like
Yeah.
you know, she's just like always trying to keep me down to earth and humble. Like when people do say things, she like probably, you know, she
Yeah.
chooses on if she wants to tell me or not, you know, because she's like, I don't want to build your head up too much now. Or like, she's like, I don't want to disappoint you or I don't want to hurt you. Cause she knows like in the beginning, it was a little rough because I feel like you know, as my mom, she just wants to protect me. But, you know, she was really happy when everybody started calling her and saying those things. But then at the same time,
Yeah.
when certain headlines came out or certain things, stories or whatever it is comes out, you know, your mom is like the first person to be like, oh my God, what is this? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And then we had to learn that together. Like, you know, no matter what you see or you read, like, you know, it's always me first, you first, like, you know, family first, always. So I just feel like, it's really like learning that together and like that journey, like going on that journey together. And I'm so blessed and happy that I have my mom because I wouldn't be able to do it any of this without her.
Yeah. And that's so amazing that you have your mom behind you because, you know, just highlighting what you're doing, you're going against everything people believe in. So you had to be Brooklyn strong. You had to stand on your own beliefs and whatever everybody else thought about it. You didn't care. I mean, because you wanted to do what you did. How has that impacted other females, you know, or people who have seen your rise? Like, are they starting to be more outspoken and, you know, following your lead?
Yeah, I noticed that a lot. I noticed that everyone I come around always is winds up being a little bit more of themselves, you know? Like I'm like, okay, I love that. I can bring that out in people, you know, because I feel like no matter what, you have to authentically be yourself, no matter what that is and who that is, as long as you're not hurting anyone or doing anything like that or hurting yourself. So I do feel like whenever, you know, everyone that I work with, I'm really happy to see that now that everyone that I come into their lives, they're like, oh my God, I always wanted to do this, or I always wanted to see this, or I always wanted to accomplish this, and you helped me do this. And I feel like doing that
Yeah.
makes me feel like, oh my God, like we're doing this together. We're making our dreams come true together. Like it's a nice feeling now, you know? So like what happens with manifestation is you start meeting people who also want to manifest the same things as you. And now we're just manifesting together. So it's a really nice feeling. And then it's like kind of like full circle moments and all of that. So I feel like that support and then having people who are like-minded and being able to be like, okay, like, you know, we can accomplish this. And then
Yeah.
I think as an artist, you know, you kind of realize that it kind of comes with the territory. You're like, okay, this is nice. This is a nice part of being the artist, you know, that you can impact people's lives, you can inspire people, you can make people want to be more of themselves. I think that's like the nice part of it. That's one of the nice parts, you know?
I seen you were on CBS News Los Angeles. You got to talk about your Palestinian roots and how important that is to you. How did you get the opportunity to be on the, you know, the news like that? And what did it feel like being a Middle Eastern woman on a national national broadcast, getting to talk about your culture and your heritage?
For me, it was definitely one of those life accomplishing moments, and it was like, wow, like as a Middle Eastern Palestinian Arabic girl to have watched CBS,
Yeah.
your whole life and then not see much of representation of you on there. And then to be that was kind of like, whoa, this is crazy, and a lot of people being like, oh my God, you are that. Like, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. But I feel like it was important for me to show, and what I always want to do is show the beauties and the amazing parts of my culture. In America, it's been so hard growing up and Arabs being so demonized, but knowing that the Arabic culture is one of the most beautiful cultures ever to exist in time, and it goes so deep, it goes so far back, like thousands of years. So I feel like I'm so proud of it because it's just so deep rooted. And even though it's so political and so politically incorrect, I feel like it's so beautiful to be from that land and then, no matter what side you're on, and just really be like, wow, like I'm from this land that has so much roots and has so much beauty behind it. And I just want to always show that the beauty behind the sounds, the looks, the makeups, the scents, the everything that we have, it's so beautiful. And I think that, for me, it's important to always show that no matter how much they try to. I think in America and our culture, we are constantly demonizing groups of people. And it's like, just to be like, I love culture. I am obsessed with culture, period. And I just am obsessed with all minority groups, and I'm obsessed with all cultures and all countries and really diving in. And I think that for me, it's about always showing those beauties, because no
Yeah.
matter how much in politics they try to demonize it all, as an artist, it's like, look at how beautiful this is,
Yeah.
like, look, it's gorgeous. You know what I mean? So I think that's always my job. And that's what I was able to do. And that's what I always want to do. Like, that's always the purpose.
Now you make amazing music, pop music, want to dance to music. Like I love that you're doing. You mentioned Brooklyn. Jay-Z worked with a lot of Middle Eastern musicians back in the day. Like the sound is very implemented through all of hip hop. If you know anything about the music of the sound, I see you're implementing those sounds into what you're doing. But does what's going on today make you want to get a little bit more onto the issues, or do you just want to have fun and leave all that other stuff where it's at? Like, do you feel any kind of pressure right now because of what's going on? Not to get political with it, but just your point of view, because you're dealing with it the way you are. Does that make you want to make any kind of other kind of music now?
Sorry, I'm in the studio and people are
There you go.
walking around, no mind. But I feel like for me, honestly, it is a very political topic. And for me, I decided that, I'm not a politician, I'm an artist. And it's hard
Yeah.
because it is a lot of pressure on all sides. And growing up as a New York girl, like I was raised both Muslim and Christian. My mom, her family is Christian. My dad, my stepdad were Muslim. So I feel like I was raised with so much diversity. When I was a child, it was confusing, but I was able to see like both sides,
Yeah.
in Palestine, Muslims and Christians and Jews, like everybody just hates each other. But they are all living in unison and in sync and in matrimony at one point.
Yeah.
And I feel like, for me growing up in Brooklyn, like even my mom's best friend was Jewish. She's still in, our lives. And she married a Dominican guy, so just being from New York, it's like,
Yeah.
that blend and that cultural blend is like insane. And I just feel like, obviously for me, it's just an important thing to be like, okay, like no matter what, you got to be a representation of the people, period.
Yeah.
Transcending religion, transcending, culture, race, color, all of it, because at the end of the day, you know, music is the language of the soul. And I feel
Yeah.
like no matter what, you can touch everybody with the music. And that's what I feel like our people all need more than ever right now. And, just seeing like how much division there is, I'm just like, we just need to be united more than ever. So I decided not to take a political stance. I feel like it's political enough to say I'm Palestinian, and
Right.
that's enough. And, I feel like it's just who I am. You know what I mean? Ancestry runs deep. So I feel like I can't, you know what I mean? And I just feel like for me, it is a lot of pressure, but I do feel like the nice part is being from New York, is being in LA, is being an American and knowing both sides,
Yeah. Right.
like you seeing both sides, knowing both sides, and just constantly, I think knowledge is power. So I think the more knowledge is out there, the more the people know. I think the power is with the people, always and forever. and it always will be. So
And
I think that the people are always gonna stand, you know?
yeah, last question. I really appreciate that. You recently are on the cover of Dubai Chick magazine. So we're talking about all the struggles you've gone through, all the culture, situations you had to overcome, but now you're on the cover of a magazine in the Middle Eastern, Dubai. How did that situation come about for you? And does that show you all your struggles and trials and tribulations you've gone through was worth it?
Honestly, yes, absolutely. Like honestly, a lot of those full circle moments are finally happening, and I feel like finally, okay, God, I see you, and I just am like, wow, like it's definitely full circle moments. And I think for me, it was like when I get, when they reach out to me and are like, oh, we want you in the cover of this or this, I'm just like, wow, like no way. But this one was special for sure, especially because they're based in Dubai. I've never been to Dubai. But it was
Okay.
just nice to just like literally like be in Dubai before I'm in Dubai, So it was like, it was funny because they posted it in like Dubai time. I didn't see it till the morning, and I was just like, wait, what? Like this is insane, Like, and it's like Dubai time's like 2 in the morning, LA time. So I'm like, wait, what's going on? And it's like it was so funny, and I think that for me, it's like definitely more of those full circle moments, and God just constantly showing how good it gets, because it's like, okay, this is just the start, next is like Vogue Arabia and things.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
Congratulations on that. That's dope. You didn't even know they were going to do that for you. So now when you finally go to Dubai, you've already on the cover of magazine out there. You're coming off the airplane as a star, the Beyonce, as you said, you idolized to become. You became that. You just got to fly out there now. So, that's the next step for your team is get you to Dubai.
Yeah, exactly. Aw, that almost made me cry. That was sweet. Aw.
Yes, indeed. Well, we have a video visual of you performing Maniac. Can you tell us about the concept of that song and how you put that together?
Maniac is like a really, really fun song. For me, it was kind of a situation where I was wanting to be very raw, honest, and be like, okay, this is more on my like, like kinky, crazy side, But I felt like if I was gonna make a kinky, crazy song, I wanted to go all the way. Like that was my thing. Like if you're gonna do it, go all the way or don't go at all. And then I felt the same thing with the visual. Like if you're gonna do it, then go all the way or don't go at all. So I was just like, I'm saying about being tied up, like tie me up, like let's, you know what I mean, or whatever it is, And I feel like it's such a dance song. So I was like, the dancers, I had this choreographer that I've known for a while just randomly reach out to me and like literally was like, I love the song and I'm doing a dance class to it and you got to stop by. And I stopped by and I loved the dancers so much. And there was a couple girls that I was like, They didn't even know it was like an audition. And I was like, wait, hold up. Like she's hired.
Yeah. Okay.
So like, and then I was like, okay, I'm grabbing these girls and, I just like shot a visual. And it's just like that for me, like I'm that spontaneous. And then I'll literally be like, we're shooting in like 2 days and we're doing this. Like, I'll be like, no, we're doing it. Like if I have a vision and it's like, no, we're doing this now, I got to get it done. Like if I have a vision, I got to do it or else I can't sleep, So it's like, as soon as I saw it and I saw the girls, it was like all girls, all colors, all sizes. So I wanted to make sure that I put that in the video. And I love like showing all colors. And every one of my dances is a different race. And, it's just United Nations every time. And I love it. I'm just like, literally, I'm like, yes, this is what I want every time. So I got so excited and I get so excited. So I'm like, I wasn't even planning on doing a visual for it. I was like, it's whatever. Let's just put it out. But then it started getting a reaction, such a good reaction that I was like, we're doing a visual. Like, let's do it. And then it just kind of just happened so organically. So I love when that happens.
Yes, indeed. We're going to check this out. Maniac by Ines X, and we'll be right back.
You know my lips don't lie. I could tell your secrets all night, yeah. Until you're all tongue-tied, all tied up, boy, on me, on your knees. I got problems, I got options, I got needs. Movie scenes, sex on the screen. Want it hardcore, pretty, pretty, please. Body shot me, shots of rum. Tastes so good, it's bubble gum. Spice it up, stop holding out on me, baby. rocking side to side. Innocent, kinky shit, make it fit. Don't quit it, stay in it, now make it fit. Body shot me, shots of rum. Tastes so good, it's bubble gum. Spice it up, stop holding out on me, baby. Whips and chains, I want it like that. My hips, my neck, come kiss on my back. I'm an info, baby, you a maniac. Tie me up, hold me down, tie me up, up, up. Want it, need it, got it, yeah, it's like that. Want it, need it, got it, throw it right back. Whips and chains, I want it like that. I'm an info, baby, you a maniac.
Yeah. That was a great visual. We got Ines X in the building, Maniac. That was great work. I definitely want to give a shout out to your team, Pristine Initiative. They are a great team. What is it like to have a great team behind you to push you and keep you motivated?
So, like, honestly, it's crucial. It's so nice. It's honestly so nice to have also like people who just like really support, really love you, and really like, just give you good energy and get you. And like, I feel like it's just so nice. Like, it really is, especially like, the CEO is a woman, and I love that. And she also is a Capricorn like me. So, we get things done. And I feel like it's a vibe. Like, I think it's just really nice when you have like real support and real love. And I do feel like for me, I think adding more women in my team has been a crucial part as a female artist. Like, two other female artists. I think it's nice to have women on the team who really get you. So I think it's really crucial. I think it's really, really nice. And I think for me, it's been a nice balance. You know what I mean? I love working with men, but I love working with women. So I feel like it's just like been really, really, really nice to have that vibe and just the support. It's just so needed. You know what I mean? And definitely like real genuine support. I think I've had a lot of like not the greatest energy around me, especially early on in my career. It was a lot of like bad things that I just didn't need to get myself into or involved with. But it's just like, just having to sift through the wrong people to get to the right people. So I think finally, by the graces of God, I've been meeting and having and working and having the most amazing people around me. So it's been amazing. I've been like, wow, this is like so much nicer and better. And it's just like everything is always so easy, which is how it should be. It shouldn't be so hard.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I want to say thank you for taking the time to be on Hype in the Streets. Are there any shout outs you would like to give or any other projects you would like to plug at this time?
Thank you guys so much. You guys have been absolutely amazing. I've had an amazing time. Have me on again.
Yes, absolutely.
But, I feel like just all the things, stay tuned. I'm going to be doing nonstop back to back to back. So just stay tuned. I'm excited for these new eras, these new vibes, the new personas. I'm ready to show all the sides. So I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what you guys think and which side you like the best. You got to let me know. You got to be like, okay, this is the girl. She's the one.
Now, before you go, I got to put my PR hat on for you. The amazing song, like I'm listening to it. It's captivating. It puts you in a trance. Do you have anybody that's got access to like LA Live in Los Angeles? Like I could hear that playing as people are walking around the club out there. Or if not, are you thinking about any strippers or strip clubs? Because that's definitely a song they would play as their solo performance or something like that. Have you guys thought about anything like that? Or are you trying to stay away from that lane?
No, I love that. I love that. I love my stripper. No, okay. Like, I love that vibe. I always say I need a song for the strip club, always. Yeah. So I love that I honestly am so happy because I was like back in the studio, like I need a song for the strip club. So I love that you said that. Let's talk because I'm super into it, and I think that's like a brilliant idea. Like I think that's brilliant.
One of the idea I would give you is, they had the silhouette challenge back in the day. Why don't you bring the the Maniac Challenge, and you have all the women acting like it's an OnlyFans or something like that on TikTok, just your song playing, and then they're strip teasing with the rocking of their hips. Come up with a dance, because your culture is very has a lot of different dances that you could sample, and just make it a TikTok dance, and then have people dance to it. The Maniac Challenge, have a lot of women doing some, beautiful dancing with your song behind it. It goes viral, and now everybody wants to know who you are before you have to, come out of pocket a lot. So I love that song, man. I'm gonna go send it to all the DJs. I know you were on DigiWax already, but I could see a lot of potential with that. So thank you for coming on tonight. I said when T sent it to me, it's like, that's an amazing song. And seeing the presentation, the way you did it, you've got like the eyes wide shut. It needs to be in a movie. You need to get it and all that type stuff. So
I love it. I love it. I love it. That's so dope. I love it. I love it. Thank you guys so much. I actually love those ideas. So let's definitely chat some more, because I love those ideas.
Yeah, I'll tap in with you after we're done.
Okay, bet. That sounds like a plan.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We're definitely going to be in touch with you, and you are always welcome back on the show anytime.
Thank you guys so much. I've had so much fun. I'll be back soon. We got to catch up soon.
Oh, yes, absolutely. We'll be in touch with you.
Bye, guys. I'll see you soon.
Money Matt. We had a
man. That's amazing, man. Great job with her. Like, she's a beautiful girl, so she's gonna win. But that talent, like, if people don't understand that sound she has,
right?
That's like a snake temptress type sound. So she's taking her culture and she's giving it a more of a update kind of. I think it's gonna go crazy for her. So hopefully she takes one of those two ideas, and then we can say Hype in the Streets made her viral. So
hey, we're here to help and serve, and we grow from this as well. As far as having guests on too. So I'm like a sponge. Like anytime we have guests on the show, I take it all in. That's how I learned the game without actually having to fully participate in it.
They say the best way to become a master at any craft is go follow all the people that did it first and make them your mentor. Now, maybe you can't meet them in person. Go watch them on YouTube. Like, we got podcasts. You got everything you want at your fingertips. You just got to go find it. And I love having artists on the show. Like I said, eventually we'll get to where we add the artists into the current topics. I think that would be a nice twist. She would have been someone great to talk about what's next, what we're about to talk about. But it's a touchy subject, but I think it went well for what we're trying to do with the show. We're going to showcase the artists, but then let's highlight the culture. Let's highlight she overcome obstacles no artist can believe. Like, just because you want to be an artist is hard, yes, but if you got to fight your whole culture, that video and her culture could have got her killed. You know what I mean? If you really know anything about how conservative they are out there. So for her to take that risk and do that, man, it's hats out to her.
Absolutely. Like, people just don't know. We all assume, but until you actually live through it and experience something outside of your own culture, like, everything is different. Everything is not cut the same. And definitely commend her for her bravery and her courage to pursue what she wanted to do instead of going down that lane that traditional families want you to go down. And so salute, man. Salute freedom. Salute it.
Well, you mentioned freedom, so I know we're at the end of the show, and we haven't done a lot of political stuff lately because it's just been so crazy. But man, these past couple of days, I don't know, T. Like, you keep thinking it can't get any worse. You think they can't do anything, because what they'll do is they'll give you one thing that makes you excited and 10 things that are terrible. So like, people are getting confused by the plays they're making, but it's fun. It's scary to me right now. So
it is, and we getting all these presidential pardons. It makes you wonder who's going to get pardoned next.
The name they're saying is going to get pardoned next. If it happens, it's going to start a civil war. Yes. And I don't mean North and South. I mean, it's going to be the people who fight against police brutality and think you shouldn't kill innocent people versus the powers that be. But the crazy thing about powers that can be, they're only allowed to be powers because people allow them to stay in power. You know what I mean? Like if you know anything about America, if we all rose up against the tyrant, we could stop a lot of this stuff. But a lot of people are sitting at home quiet. They're not calling their congressman. They're not calling the Senate. Like this new bill they're trying to pass, if it goes through, he can tell the Supreme Court to kiss his ass. He can tell you if I'm going to export you now. And everybody's like, well, it's only Latin people being exported. But what happens when he changes it? Like there's already hinting at what they're going to do in the South. So, you know what I mean? It's scary, man. Because people are not numb. They're like, I saw yesterday, everybody's excited. Larry Hoover was pardoned by Donald Trump of his federal charges. Well, what does that really do for Larry Hoover? Did he get out?
No.
Is he going to get out? So why give him a pardon? You gave NBA Youngboy, you gave Larry Hoover, and you gave Chris Lee, some reality TV stars, a pardon.
Now that one, I was like surprised of the television coverage, man. Like even here locally in my area, like they was live.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was just right down the street from where I live. Maybe that's the reason why they went live, but
you talking about the Chris Lee one?
Yes.
You know what that was?
Yes.
Savannah pulled up, dropped the money. You pay Trump, and then your people get off scot-free. Like if you got money to get out, you can get out. Buy what it is, get out of jail free card. All you gotta do is pay Trump.
Yeah, some people play the game like Monopoly for real.
Yeah.
And it's sad because you playing with real lives, and it's not a game that you just put up and put back on your shelf. Like you actually affecting real people, and there's always a cause and effect to everything we do.
Yeah.
And
well, the good thing for us is America is not like any other country because this is an authoritative move that's being done. You destroyed the structures that made the country strong, and then people can't go back to what it was. So then they just succumb to the tyrant, and authoritative leadership comes into play. But we have judges, we have other parties, we have other individuals that are there to stop this stuff. Like they just, if you follow financial stuff, those tariffs that were Liberation Day that caused all the headache for people to lose their job, the courts just said those are illegal. So those don't even matter no more. Like, so we've been going through this turmoil with all these countries for something that he can't even do. Like,
right.
If President Obama would have done one of the things Donald Trump has done, what do you think the outcome would have been?
Oh, it would have been some lot of press conferences going on.
So what's the difference, you think?
Well, you have someone that's tapped in to the business and money side, and money drives everything. And I just feel like he got something on everybody. Like, what does he have on everybody that's just following suit and not really caring about humanity for real? I know we talk about the left and the right wing, but that forms the whole bird. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
We live in a society where we just want to be entertained, man, and not educated. And so if it doesn't affect you personally, I feel like we just kind of just turn our back to it or turn our cheek away from it. But hey, we'll sit there and binge watch Netflix all day and stuff, and complain and talk about the characters and stuff, but not complain about what's right, what's humanly right,
Yeah, we'll cover every line of the Diddy trial, but we're not even watching Donald Trump do anything. Like the cover, but it's intentional. Like if you know what they did, before they came in, they started controlling all the media outlets. You know what I mean? CNN was bought out by a conservative. I think CBS is about to be bought out. Like they're trying to take control of your media. They're taking control of social media because if they can control the narrative, then you never see the millions of protests that went on against Tesla. You know what I mean? Right. I didn't see not one video of people protesting Tesla when it happened, but there was millions of people that did it. So I think we just have to keep our voice being strong. We have to use our platforms when we can. if you got a social media page and you don't agree with something, share it and tell people about it. Because what I've learned is the people on the other side, they just don't have the information. They watch one news channel and that news channel shows them fake shit all the time. And then they say we're fake news. But, you know, if you can look at facts, they lie all the time. So, but that's how they handle it. When you don't have truth to show, you lie about it. You start arguments about it. Like, how many times, T, have you been having a casual conversation with somebody about just not agreeing with one thing he's done, and now it's a yelling, screaming match? Now they want to go to the streets and fight you like we're back in high school. It's like, it's crazy.
And see, people, we are so fascinated with numbers. So
yeah,
I'm gonna tell you. You probably already know this. All right, so we got maybe 355 million Americans that lives here in the United States.
Give or take. Yeah.
Okay, so we have 4 major networks that owns pretty much all of TV, cable, and let's say we got 4 people that owns the social media platform. So that's 8 people. So you have you are friends or you have some kind of business relationship with these 8 people, and these 8 people control, you could argue, between 90 to 95% of media. That's including TV, radio, internet, print, you name it. So you can have a meeting. You be like, hey, this is what we're gonna do. So you have 8 people that could manipulate 355 million people.
Facts.
8 people out of the entire country can manipulate and move the needle wherever it needs to go. And see, that's the problem, because people don't put faith in Jesus.
Yeah.
But they'll put faith in media.
Yeah.
And you have, again, 8 people that probably is far away from being righteous because of the money that they get and the power they get with it. Yeah. And so if you feel like you mortal or immortal, I would say, you feel like you probably don't need God because you have all this power currently as a human. And so it just
can't take it with you.
Right. You can't take it with you. Yeah. So they already know that, hey, we are pretty much running the country because whatever we put on the airwaves is going to get duplicated and replicated 1,000 times. The same news story going to be told the exact same way, but maybe in 1,000 different styles. Yeah. And people just gravitate to it and not really seek the truth anymore. It's all about majority. If majority agrees with it, it's fact, it's law. And a lot of things are getting changed, man. Like a lot of history is getting erased because the current majority is saying, well, this is what happened. Yeah. And then get people to believe it without any kind of evidence. When we have historical evidence on certain things, and we had it, It just breaks my heart, man, that I feel like we are so advanced as human beings, but knowledge-wise, I think we are digressing. We're falling back because.
Do you think it's intentional? Do you think they want? Do you think that the powers that be, those 8, or just whatever you think it is, do you think they want everybody to be successful, or do they want them to be successful and everybody else to be under them?
Well, I know people probably think we sound like conspiracy theories or whatever because of what we saying, but this is just fact. I feel like they use this medium to hold us back, which is mental slavery.
Yeah. So let's look at it this way, because we're both in the entertainment industry. If somebody sends you a video and that video only has 1 like, are you gonna watch it?
It depends on how the thumbnail looks.
Okay.
but more than likely, no.
Now, if you look at that same video and it has 100,000 views, are you going to watch it?
You'd probably be more curious to be like, why this video has 100K?
So if the people control the media, can control the likes and dislikes, and can make something viral versus not viral, then we only see the material they want to do. I want to give this because, you know, this funny thing is they always say The Simpsons can tell you the future if you ever just watch to see what they talk about. And do you believe that Homer Simpson should give Mr. Burns 50% of his paycheck so Mr. Burns can swim in more money?
Well, you know, certain countries take 50%.
Right. So
But
there was an episode where The Simpsons, Mr. Burns tried to raise everybody's taxes so high that they couldn't survive. And if you watch what happened in the episode, everybody said F that, and they bum rushed his mansion. Now, I'm not saying bum rush the mansion, but do you want to take away from the poor to give more money to Jeff Bezos? Do you think that the rich are more important? They want to create a society like China where everybody has levels and you can only go so far based on how you're born. Like, that's not America. And if people believe that's America, then the sad thing is the ones that support him the most are going to be hurt the most. Like, if you see that new bill, if you don't make $400,000, your taxes are raised. What, 75% of his base is not making that much money? So he hit his own base?
And then we are supposed to love the poor.
Yep.
That's one of the principles in the Bible.
Facts.
Like you look after the poor. People get bent out of shape when people are on the side of the road asking for money, and you be like, well, you know, if I give them this $1, they're going or $20 they're going to buy this liquor. Well, you know, in the Bible it say give freely,
and
give generously, and don't worry about what that person does. What you have already done your deed by being a blessing.
Yep.
Now, whatever they do with it, that's what free will is about. That's on them. And we are supposed to take care of the poor, but you could just tell that the world we live in is broken, man. And you know, that's just the way it is. And
well, one of the greatest rapper of our generation, some people argue of all time, Kendrick Lamar, said it best. How much does $1 really cost? And if you know anything about that song, or if you don't know about it, Kendrick's asked to give $1 to a bum. Oh, you smell like the liquor that my grandma wore. And he tried to fight it all along the way. Third verse is Jesus. And Jesus said, because you didn't give me that $1, you're stuck here in hell. You will never come to heaven. So sometimes when people are begging you for money, it's not them begging you for money. It's God testing you to see, will you help the less fortunate? Will you take that money that he gave you and give it away to somebody else? I changed my life when I started giving money to people I didn't know, because like I had $5 to my name. I was walking to the bus and somebody needed some money. And I said, you know what? Here you go. I'll give you my last $5. I'll figure it out. Walked up the street a couple blocks. I found $20 on the street. And from that moment forward, I believed you give it away as fast as you get it, you give it away. Because the more you let God deal with it, the more it's going to be fruitful for you. We did this show, T, a year ago, just trying to help the Hype magazine and trying to, you know, create something dope. And now we just gave Ines X a major platform and uplifting her career. Like, it's a simple move you make, but how much does $1 cost? Does you giving more money to the rich hurt your family? Does the rich getting to have another $1 million plane take away from kids having food in their schools? Like, we're going into the summertime. Most kids have to go to school on the summer so they can eat. Like, a lot of the stuff they took away was at the end of the school year. We didn't even feel it yet. It takes a month for everything to be implemented. So what happens start school year this year, and if it's still the way it is? You don't have buses. They shut down hospitals already. So like I said, when you start thinking these debates, I want you to remember, how much does $1 really cost you? Because you might get a little. I'm blessed in a position right now, me and my family, that I am going to benefit from all these tax breaks. But I hate it because everybody I know and everybody I love and family and friends who are still struggling, they're getting hurt the most. And I can't do nothing about it because a lot of them voted for him.
Absolutely.
So,
hey, God is good all the time, and we have to do our job of getting to know and bringing people closer to the kingdom. And that's all we have to do in this case.
Well, speaking of bringing people to the kingdom, we can't get out of here before, you know, you made this amazing playlist recently. You know, I want to make sure we highlight that, and I'm tuned into it, listening to it more and more. Like when I wake up in the morning, I'm gonna start listening to it. That's my praise music from now on. So, what's the playlist, and what made you want to create this?
The playlist is called Faith Feels Good with Music, and I listen to a lot of Christian-based music when I'm not involved in the hip hop world, as far as doing shows, live streams, and so forth. And so, just music to uplift. I put this list together. It's probably over 50 songs now, and I'm gonna keep adding to it. It's gonna continuously change every day. Just some of my favorites and some up and coming artists too that's in that genre that I'm highlighting as well, such as like Torrance Rudd, Timothy Gabriel. Shout out to the OG Canton Jones.
Yeah.
He has a song with Torrance Rudd called Rumor, so that's one of the songs that's featured on that playlist. And then of course I have Kirk Franklin, Matthew West, and Zach Williams, Danny Goki, just everybody. Toby Mac, Torrin Wells, Tori Kelly, Lecrae, 1K Few, just plethora of artists that's on the list to give you some joy. Of course, hear about some of the stories of overcoming things of this world, turning to God, turning to Jesus, and just picking up your cross and following Him. And it is just something that I created today actually and put out there. And I was listening to it all day myself too as I was creating. And we need that. We need some inspiration. And I feel like music is definitely one way to do that, to inspire us to do.
I've done a lot of mixtapes in my career. One of the best ones I did for me personally was All Eyes on Him. I took 30 of the best hip hop songs that implemented God or Jesus in their verses. I'll send it to you. Unfortunately, I pulled it from all the websites because of the copyrights and all that stuff on it. But it's amazing when you start to listen to these songs. Master P got songs about God and Jesus. Tupac has songs about God and Jesus. Like Kendrick, as we mentioned, like Faith is one of Kendrick's best songs. If you're a Kendrick fan, like you go and listen to all these songs from your favorite rappers and realize what separated them from the others is they did have a relationship with God and Jesus, and they overcome a lot, man. So I'm gonna send you those. I'm glad you did this playlist. We can, build it more and help promote it more because I think it's very needed, and that's what we're here for, T. We here to put people in the right space, give them some positivity in their week, because as we discussed tonight, we're all dealing with some negative stuff, but just turn on the playlist and it'll bring you into a happy space. And a lot of time when God's in the room, everything goes good. You could be having a bad day and play that playlist, and amazingly, I played 2 songs. Now I'm happy. Now I'm ready to run through this wall that was stopping me at first. Now I want to bust through it because nothing can stop God. So I'm glad you did that, man.
Thank you so much, Money Matt, for everything. And are there any shout outs you would like to give out tonight before we close?
Yeah, I definitely want to shout out my family, Highball Entertainment, man. He just dropped a really dope collaborative project with Maverick Global. I'm going to try and get him on the show in the future for us. It's called The Sounds of Indiana Legacy. He's highlighted, all the different music sounds, rock, jazz, country. There's no genre to this project. And it highlights just really dope artists from the state, and it's the beginning of this process. He wants to highlight some other classics and stuff like that. So shout out to Highball Entertainment. And then I got a dope artist. We just dropped their song, Memorial Day. Dyson K. Sun is the name of the song. The artist is The Business, featuring Lil Wayne. It's an amazing song. He's an artist from America, but he's bringing Latin trap into the forefront. Shout out to M80 for introducing us, and man, just a lot of dope stuff in the work, man. SBR, Stop Beef from Radio, the website, it's GoDaddy time now. I'm just waiting for the final update. You're gonna see it. We got the radio player going. We look like $1 million website now, and then we're gonna get the app. And then once that's done, we're gonna make some announcements, and we're gonna take over the game. Like, why are you paying for Spotify to hear songs that are trash when you can go to Stop Beef from Radio and hear Jay-Z's first song for free? And it's clean, so you can listen to it anywhere you want to. And that doesn't count all the DJs we're gonna add. Shout out to legendary Gary out of California. Already touched base with him. We're gonna bring Oakland in on the station. Tee Recx, you know, you're a part of the station. DJ Graci Grace is a part. But the Hype magazine is a part. So that's the other cheat code that people don't really understand about us, T. Right. We have Just Jay, we have Jerry behind us in everything we do. So it might not seem like a big deal, but all we got to do is push 2 buttons and 1 million emails go out. Hit another button and our SEO is 100%. And now we're top of the class. So I'm excited because we, like I always tell people, we just getting started. We what, 1 year is, I think this is our 1 year mark now. And, you know, it's only going to get better. And yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I always tell your loved ones you love them today because tomorrow is never promised. I always love God and love people. Thank you, Money Matt, again for being on the show. Inus X, thank you as well. DJ Graci Grace, I hope you get well soon. She was a little under the weather today, but we definitely going to be rocking with her again on the next episode. And I'm Tee Recx, and y'all make sure y'all check us out on all the Hype Magazine platforms. Stop Beefing Radio, Live by Terrence Network, Two Factor Media, It's Gorgeous Music, DigiWax, Maverick Global Distribution. Definitely a shout out to Court Digger. And we'll be back again with a new installment of Hype in the Streets. Until then, peace.
Peace. Salute.